Welcome back to my channel. It's a quiet evening here and I have this big, gorgeous, fluffy, overstuffed, climb-in thick rainbow for you to sit on. So come on, come in, sit down. This is going to be kind of a reaction to some of your replies and maybe a reply to some of them because I have been really pleasantly surprised at some of the replies that I'm getting, and sometimes completely shocked because they're just things that I have never experienced and never did growing up over in America. So it's almost like watching somebody suddenly, whip out French and they can speak it fluently, and then they pull it back in and everything's back to normal. It's like, wow, I did not know that. That was interesting, So I thought I'm going to go over each of the comments on this one and just kind of show you how I was reacting to them, because I mean, as an American, there's an awful lot of things that are being said here that always made sense to me, but it didn't seem to make a lot of sense to the people that I lived around at the time, or if it did, it was a very small, very tiny little minority. But one of the first comments I think I saw was, being openly religious is viewed with a certain degree of suspicion by most folk here in the UK. And when I read that, it was so funny, because that's how I felt, like, why do people have to share it? It is such a private thing. Just enjoy it yourself, don't make other people uncomfortable. Come on. So I saw that and I thought, wow, because it's the complete opposite in America. I kid you not, you will be called out if you don't believe in God and don't go to church on Sundays, and I don't know, like, don't pepper your speech with little pseudo words that, I don't know, mean something. And yeah, so that was it was like, wow, it's opposite land, because we don't have it. It makes sense to me, but it's not what happens in general over there. Is if you are found to not be Christian, then you are held rather suspect. Wow, they're kind of sus. Yeah. So that one was definitely eye-opening, which was cool. And then I have this other one, and it is a very long one, so I'm going to react as I read. It's from Graham Smith, and it says, my only experience of America is basically what he's seen on YouTube. And, to be fair, there's quite a lot in a lot of these YouTube videos that give you quite a few facets of American life, which I like, The impression I get is the Christian religion seems to be more like cults. Yes, they can come across like that. If you would like some resource material for that, try looking up a movie called Jesus Camp. Kind of like summer camp, but just Jesus Camp. And you can watch these people basically, like, they keep talking about being soldiers for Christ and how they should prepare for war, and it all seems rather counterintuitive to me, but it's a weird show, but it should be a little bit eye-opening for you. Let's see. Yes, the attitude towards same-sex relationships. They look at people that have, say, transgender people as a moral issue as opposed to a health issue, which is what it is. It is a morale issue because it makes a person feel inadequate, terrible, lonely. I can't even imagine. I'm doing my best to guess, but yeah, I mean, it's terrible. Over in America, for the longest time, if you were in a gay relationship with someone and you could not officially get married, if your partner ended up in the hospital, once they were in there, it was like, only next of kin could see them, and you weren't considered next of kin unless you were married to your partner. Well, in that little loophole there, a lot of families that disagreed with their offspring being gay would use that opportunity to isolate their son or daughter away from their gay lovers. I'm not sure why, maybe to make themselves feel better, give themselves the illusion that they have somehow a normal child, but it was horrific, and that's something that actually happened, and still, from what I understand, happens on occasion over there. Heartrending, like, I can't even picture how painful that would be. And when I first got to England, I was really scared, like, if something went wrong with my partner, would I be locked out if, say, her family hated me? Which they don't. Her family's fine. But how did that work here? And I was still going on what I knew from over there. Well, I was very wrong. It's different, and it's different in a good way. It's a more progressive, common sense, gentle, compassionate way of handling things. And I like it better for that over here. Let's see. The kind of church that you seem to be describing with all this inclusiveness, it sounds like a Unitarian Universalist church, which is, well, what's what we used to call them. And what that is like a giant umbrella church that basically allows every faith its own space, and they all kind of congregate together, but they don't step on each other's toes, which is really, really nice, because it's nice to have a little personal space. Whether you're praying or whatever you're doing, breathing room is nice. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, yeah. And let's see. I believe very much so that, yes, when you die, you are transitioning back to yourself, because you're not this body. This is just, this is a vessel. It's a fleshly vehicle, for your spirit to inhabit, is how I've always looked at it. And I very much agree with, what you wrote there. It's very true. Basically, my personal belief is that our natural form is what we refer to as our spirit. This is one of the planets that we came to learn and experience what it's like to be in a physical body. The religion or no religion that we follow does not matter as long as we learn. My so-called supernatural experiences and having a near-death experience, it's very true. I've come close to dying a few times, actually, but it does put things into a grand perspective, and it's very sharp, detailed, and all of a sudden you realize what's important, All right, let's see. Okay. Definitely shouting about it is just counterintuitive. It's just going to make people back away and not want to be a part of it at all. I mean, who wants to be yelled at? I don't. It hurts. Working together, you can actually overcome the insurmountable, and you can do so in such a wonderful way. Doing it together and finding things you have in common, as opposed to finding a fine-tooth comb to figure out what you have that makes you different. That I can't stand. We need to stop focusing on what makes us so different and accepting and looking for what makes us similar. There's a lot, there's an awful lot of it. But, hang on. Right? I did have a conversation with someone in my life that was talking about the NHS many years ago. And the funny thing was they had never been sick a day in their life beyond, like, the flu. Lucky them, right? I wish. Anyway, I was talking to them about, the NHS and universal health care, and they said, no, I don't like that at all. Why should I have to pay for someone else's health care? And I did quip, quickly. I said, well, everybody has a major health crisis at least one time in their life. And, most people, it's a lot more than that. But it is the best way to get things done, to help others and make sure that your society as a whole can move forward with the security of knowing that they have somewhere to go to get the help they need. And they don't get judged because they don't have health insurance, It's a beautiful thing. NHS is wonderful. Let's see. Right. Oh, the air ambulance thing I never knew about at all. So that's fantastic. Because those things can really, really help people and make a huge difference. Oh my gosh. And I do like that all the vicars and the ministers and all the top people get together to have regular meetings. I mean, let's face it, communication is really one of the best tools we have to work together. And if we start corrupting our means to communicate, like they're doing in America right now with what they're teaching children in history, that's a different show and a different time, but it is a mess right now. And, they wouldn't understand what conversion therapy is or why it is illegal or what's wrong with it at all. One thing that I did learn is that they're telling people if they're going to teach about the Buddha or, Christ on a cross or the KKK, they cannot speak negatively of any of those. What? Excuse me? One of them is, kind of, sort of, racist. Anyway, it's just a mess over there. I've been looking at it and I cannot understand. I don't know where it's going, but, Alright, so, thank you, Graham. I appreciate the comment. That was really, really great to read. I really enjoyed that one. I did. Let's see. Oh, Helen. Okay. Just listen to Jesus, He Knows Me and He Knows I'm Right by Genesis. The lyrics are inspired by the Genesis band members watching a God TV station while touring the U.S. and hearing about the Baker duo ripping their congregation off monetarily in the name of Jesus. Yep. It's classic. It happens all the time. There's always money to be made and lies to be told to perpetuate and inflame things and make things seem horrible. And then they get more money. So let's see. Okay. Paul Hill. In the small town I live in, we no longer have a vicar, as there's no one available. 2 churches have closed and been converted to houses. One, the Catholic, has not opened since COVID started, is too small. The 2 remaining ones have been converted to community centers with a church attached. People still go to church, but not many. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Okay. He was C of E and marched off to that church. Oh my gosh. I could tell you stories. When I was in basic training, after I got through that, I did have some run-ins with new airmen coming in, and I was able to help some of them. I'll tell you the full story at some point, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And Sir Walter Raleigh. All right, hopefully I said that name correctly. I like your starched muff. It's very nice. Let's see. I'm an atheist. That will not change. I've not been prompted to join any religion for years. If you want to join a religion, it is really down to you to contact them. In the summer, once in a while, we had Mormons doing their rounds, but not seen them for years, fortunately. Yeah, really, I mean, once you find your path, follow it and do right by that path. And just keep to the basic principles of life. Don't hurt people. Don't don't carry envy in your heart. Don't covet things. It's just basic stuff. And people still mess it up. But I'm not sure, but I think that might be the last comment I have. Yeah, that's the last one. But they were all really, it was just really surprising and amazing, the reactions, because I don't know, it's like I said, it's a learning process for all of us, really. For me as an American, becoming an English citizen and acclimating and getting to know what it's like living here. And it's almost like Christmas, it seems like every other day I'm opening another box of, oh wow, I did not know that. That's so cool. And I love it. So I'm going to wrap it up here, but thank you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you aren't already subscribed, please go down there, click on the button, and then click on all, because I will do my very best to get stuff out to you as often as I can, I promise. I am chronically ill, so, there might be some times when I can't. It's usually when it gets really, really hot. But I will do my best. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to more comments. I mean, please talk to me about this stuff because it's really fascinating. And I'm excited to know more. So, yeah, thank you for tuning in. All right. So, in the end, if you are LGBTQ, you are not alone. You do have a place to come talk if you need something. Just leave a comment here, and I'm sure somebody here will help you. If not, if I see it, I will. All right. Well, good night to you guys. Talk to you later.